Hey everybody, Ryan from Rhino Hockey Channel here. Alright, since they released a schedule and now I know when the first game is going to be, the first game of this series between Washington and Boston is on Saturday. So, I'm getting my preview out today. I know it's the day before, but here it is. And make sure you keep an eye out later today. I should also have out my predictions for how I see the playoffs going. Alright, let's get started with this preview for the first round matchup between Washington and Boston. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button and also hit that like button too. It helps the channel out, helps get the video out there more. Alright, let's get started. Alright, this is the matchup this year. There were 8 games between these two. Washington was 4-4, Boston was 4-2. First game of the year was on the 30th of January. Washington won that 4-3 in overtime. Then on the 1st of February, Boston won the matchup 5-3. On the 3rd of March, 2-1 Washington win in shootout. On the 5th of March, a 5-1 win for Boston. Then on the 8th of April, a 4-2 victory for Boston. Then on the 11th of April, an 8-1 slapping by Washington over Boston. Then on the 18th of April, a 6-3 victory for Boston. Then on the 11th of May, that was just a couple days ago, a 2-1 victory for Washington regulation. So that's how this matchup went. Most of the games fairly close, a goal or two, other than a couple games in there, which were fairly ugly. 8-1, 6-3, and 5-1. Yeah, those were the only ones. Alright. This is the top scorers for the entire season for these two teams since their season is over. Nicholas Backstrom was the top scorer for Washington. 15 goals, 38 assists for 53 points. John Carlson, 10 goals, 34 assists for 44 points. TJ Oshie, 22 goals, 21 assists for 43 points. Alex Ovechkin, 4th in scoring on Washington this year. Granted, he missed quite a bit at the end of the season, but still, 4th place. That's not somewhere we're used to seeing him. 24 goals, 18 assists for 42 points. Then Tom Wilson pulling up the 5th spot with 13 goals, 20 assists for 33 points. I'm only doing the top 5. I'm not going to go through the whole roster. I'll just get really long and take forever to go through. Alright. The top 5 for Boston were Brad Marshawn, 29 goals, 40 assists for 69 points. Another great year for him. Bergeron had 23 goals, 25 assists for 48 points. Pasternak in a shortened year because he did start off the year injured. 20 goals, 28 assists for 48 points. Still had a good year even after hip surgery. Good God. It's ridiculous how good that guy is. David Krejci, 8 goals, 36 assists for 44 points. And then the 5th best player, Craig Smith, 13 goals, 19 assists for 32 points. So basically, you got the first line, the second line center, and then it just kind of trickles down as to more of a middling of offensive ability. Although, of course, they did add Taylor Hall, and he did play quite well since he came over, so that could also be one, but we don't have a full season sample size for him. Alright. Goalies this year, Vanacek, 21, 10 and 4, 269 goals against average, and a 908 save percentage. So very good year in his rookie year. Very impressive. Samsonov, a shortened year. He's been on COVID protocol twice now. Had some issues with the coaching staff, so he has not played as much as was expected. 13, 4, and 1, though, in the games he has played. 269 goals against average and a 902 save percentage. And then Craig Anderson has played a few games for them. He's 2 and 1 with 2.13 goals against average and 915 save percentage. I think it's safe to say your goalies for the Capitals will be Vanacek and Samsonov. I have a feeling Vanacek's going to be your starter, so we'll see, but I'm pretty sure. Alright, for Boston, you had Tuukka Rask was the best goalie, 15, 5, and 2, 2.28 goals against average, 913 save percentage. Yaroslav Halak, had 9-6-4 season, 2.53 goals against average, 905 save percentage. Swayman, coming in because of injuries to Rask and Halak, was 7-3, 1.5 goals against average, and 945 save percentage. Looked pretty good since he came up. Vlader, not as good. 2-2-1, 3.4 goals against average, and 886 save percentage. Eesh. Worst on the board. But he's young, so it's time to fix that. Alright, in their head-to-head matchup, this is who scored the most against their opponent. Backstrom for Washington had 9 points, a goal, and 8 assists against Boston. Oshie had 5 goals, 3 assists for 8 points. Eller had 3 goals and an assist for 4 points. And John Carlson a goal and 3 assists for 4 points. Jakub Vrana also had 4 points, but because they traded him to Detroit, I did not include him on the list. And they had like a 5-way tie with guys with 3 points, so I was just going to cut it off there. Vanecek was their top goalie against Boston, being 4-3. Then for Boston, Brad Marshawn had a great year against Washington, so I definitely look out for him. 7 goals, 6 assists for 13 points against the Capitals this year. David Pastrnak, 3 goals, 5 assists for 8 points. And then Craig Smith, 3 goals, 4 assists for 7 points. David Krejci, 2 goals, 3 assists for 5 points. And Charlie McAvoy, a goal and 4 assists for 5 points. Now, Rask played the most. He was 1-0-2. But Halak technically had the best record against Washington this year, being 2-0-0. All 4 of their goalies played against Washington, but Halak had the winningest record. Injury-wise, so currently TJ Oshie is day-to-day with a lower body injury. That's what LBI stands for, if you did not know that. He is currently practicing, so we'll see if he plays Game 1 or not. John Carlson is expected to play on Saturday. He's day-to-day with lower body injury. Ilya Samsonov and Evgeny Kuznetsov, we don't know when they'll come back. They both have been placed on COVID protocol again. Henrik Lundqvist, we all know, is out indefinitely with the heart surgery he had. Michael Kempny is out indefinitely with an Achilles injury, although I read a report saying that he was down in the AHL on a conditioning assignment when, you know how, if you've ever seen a game live, then you know that every once in a while during TV timeouts, you have the people go around and use shovels to scoop up the excess ice scrapings off the ice. Well, I guess Kempny, while in the AHL, got clipped in the back of the leg with that and is injured again, unfortunately. So, we'll see if he comes back sooner rather than later. I'm sure Washington wouldn't mind. I mean, granted, he hasn't played all year, but I'm sure they wouldn't mind having him. On to Boston. Jakub Zobril is day-to-day with an upper body injury. Ondrej Kase is day-to-day with upper body injury. I know Kase, they said, will not play Game 1, but there is a possibility for Game 2. Charlie Coyle is day-to-day with upper body injury, but he should be ready for this Saturday. And John Moore is still out indefinitely with a hip injury with no updates of late. So, in these, I mean, Kase hasn't played for most of the year. Zobril, he's more of a depth defender, so Coyle wouldn't hurt to have back because he's been pretty good in the playoffs. Then here, I mean, if they were going to be missing Oshie or Carlson, that could really hurt, especially considering Kuznetsov and Samsonov are out. So, good thing they're getting Carlson back, and my guess is since he's practicing, Oshie will probably be playing too. Alright, so last playoff appearances. Washington was in the playoffs last year. They lost in the first round in 5 games to the New York Islanders. Boston lost in 5 games last year in the second round to the eventual champions, the Tampa Bay Lightning. So, that's where they last were. Both lost in 5 games, ironically, last year in different rounds. So, for me, a dark horse player that you want to keep an eye on for the Capitals is Zdeno Chara. Because, you know what? Dude is, going on 44? And he still puts up dang near 20 minutes a night. And also he's playing against his former team, so those are guys you like to watch because you know what? You don't know the exact circumstances that he left for. Was he not offered a contract? Was there bitterness? Is he going to be playing just out of this world because it's his former team? We'll have to see, but I definitely would say he's someone you want to keep an eye on. Now, a dark horse player for Boston will be Nick Richie. With how physical and strong Washington is, Richie's going to play a big part in trying to counteract that. Especially counteract someone like Tom Wilson. Because I wouldn't say Richie's as good a fighter as Wilson, but he definitely is a big kid who likes to hit like Wilson does, just with a little bit less offensive talent. So we'll have to see how that works out. Those two might be going at each other all series. We don't know. But he also has he's had a very good offensive season, so he definitely probably will be pitching in. And he has a lot of playoff experience from his time with Anaheim, so it definitely doesn't hurt having that type of player that has that experience in the playoffs and in deep playoffs. Because he's been to the conference finals, I believe, 3 times in his career. Never to the finals, granted. And there are many guys in Boston who have been to the finals. But it does not hurt having extra guys who have been in deep playoff runs. Alright, that's all I got. I'm not going to do prediction in this video. I will say the predictions for my overall prediction video tomorrow. So make sure, or today. Later today to tomorrow. We'll see when I actually get it set up and done. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. And make sure you keep an eye out for all the other previews for the other series. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button. Make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. And also, let me know what you think of this matchup. Who do you think is going to win? I know I said I'll do that in my prediction video, so keep an eye out for that. You can say the same thing there. But let me know what you think of this series. Who do you think has the advantages where? And other than that, I will see you all next video. Bye, everybody.